Hi, and welcome to another episode of Wine and Wisdom. I'm Thomas Le Hoang, and you're listening to the TL podcast, where knowledge is shared and no one takes themselves too seriously.
Hey guys, how are we?
Beautiful people.
Good afternoon.
And welcome.
Yeah, someone's a little bit asleep here. It has to be Cam, right? It has to be Cam.
Just trying to work out. Mate, I'm just trying to work out whether I'm wearing a jumper or a jacket, mate.
Mate, as long as you're wearing pants, that's the main thing.
You look like you're still pissed and you're still asleep. What's going on?
I'm not still pissed. I probably will only take one of these to get back there, but I am a little tired. It was a.
You were there yesterday.
I was there, apparently. I've been told I was there.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, jeez.
No, it was good. We were up.
What was good in there that we couldn't see on TV?
We were in the corporate box. We're in the captain's club, so we got.
Thanks for the invite. Three of us. Forget it. Yeah, I get it.
We got boozed and schmoozed for 4 hours before the game, and then apparently there was a game of football, and I didn't let in anywhere afterwards.
Oh, jeez.
And I've never been more grateful for anything in my life because I felt this morning.
Oh, that's hilarious. Oh, what does Matt Hutchinson say? Bad decisions lead to good stories. You got any good stories?
There's it's hard to you can't replicate it unless you're there. But being in a stadium with 80,000 people is just
incredible.
Something that has an effect on. Going to the game's no good for watching the game. It never is. You're much better watching it on TV.
Yeah.
I'm going to have to rewatch it to actually see what happened. And that's not a drunk thing. It's just very hard to get a gauge when you're there. But the atmosphere and everything around it was
Electric.
What do you mean? From the box?
Sorry?
From the box, you must be able to follow the whole lot.
Oh, while the game was on, we sat outside the box in the seats, mate, and yelled and screamed abuse at people. But I met Gordy Tallis. That was good. I hadn't met him before. I've got him covered. I'm bigger than him. Well, it turns out. He didn't want to run at me. I tried. But no, it was good. I mean, obviously we lost, and you were saying before, TL, and I didn't want to talk about it too much, but 100% agree with you. I knew we weren't going to win. Queensland, they got a thing about them. There's a culture about Queensland. They got an aura that's when they get it right, it's very similar to what the All Blacks have going, right? And New South Wales just never have it. Never have it. We get lucky occasionally, and Queensland goes through a couple of bad years where their players are transitioning over. But what no one seemed to realise this year is even the bookmakers. I mean, God, I wish I was a gambling man because I would have made a lot of money last night. I picked the man of the match, I picked the winner, and I picked the first try scorer. So,
oh God,
I would have been all right. But what Queensland did this year was bring back one. They got Billy Slater, who's the greatest fullback of all time, to coach them, and he was a Queenslander when they won those 10 years in a row. And then he brought in all the other people that he played with into the coaching staff. So they picked a very young team, all 20, bar one or two people, but around them they had the greatest people that have ever played the game in their camp. And we just don't seem to understand it down here that New South Wales. There was a whole lot of talk before the game about two people that New South Wales didn't pick, which was Josh Adokar and Jake Trbojevic. Now, Josh Adokar's left Melbourne and playing for the Bulldogs, who are going rubbish, so he didn't get picked. And Jake Trbojevic playing for Manly, and he's going okay, but he's not going brilliant. But where they've stuffed up is if they've made that decision on a skill-based thing, not a culture-based thing, because Jake Trbojevic is one of the best leaders in that group of people. He's one of the best leaders on and off the field that you can have. And Josh Adokar was a bloke who brought all the fun. He was the clown of the group who, when things got too serious, kept it lighthearted, and that's why they've been so good for the last few years. So was always gonna happen. Anyone who says any different didn't know what they're talking about.
The other thing with Josh Adokar, unfortunately, he's come into a team They need to be able to get the ball to him, you know, and he can score off almost anything. But the team around him at the moment just isn't supporting him. And
he scored a third of points, mate.
Yeah, absolutely. But let's not talk about too much football. A lot of people go to sleep like Thomas.
No, but it's more of a leadership. It's not even a football talk, right? But it just shows what
the leadership thing. Absolutely.
Team of champion team, like TL was saying off air before. It's a good cultural beat skill any day of the week. I believe. Now, if you can get the combination of the two right, 100%. But culture will always win.
Yep.
You're on mute, bro.
I don't follow football, but what is it that Queensland's got that every single game they seem to just light up in the second half? Something is like a switch goes on and they're on a totally different field. You know, the number of times I've seen that in the second half, they just
got much more resilience. I don't know whether it's a geographical thing or that culture thing we were talking about, but most of them are raised on farms in the cane fields. They're not city people. Now, same can be said for New South Wales, but they're brought into the city a lot younger. In New South Wales, they're identified out in the country at sort of 10, 12, 13 years of age and brought into the city environment, which isn't, you know, chasing cattle and chopping down sugarcane, you know, so and not living on farms that are going broke or enduring drought and all that stuff. I think it's a geographical culture when they first get there, and then that's an expectation. It's you're expected up there. You're always an underdog. You're always the underprivileged, but they use that as a motivation rather than an excuse. So, whereas we as minute something goes wrong, we're gone. We just can't. We've got no fight in us whatsoever.
What about you, Lou? You don't have the state of origin, but looks like you own an entire new state there behind you. Is that your place? Is it?
I was saying to Cam, I couldn't even watch the state of origin last night for the first time in about 10 years because I haven't hooked up the TV yet. So, 10 years. I literally, I used to get into footy quite a bit, like just growing up with dad and brothers and all that, and obsessed with it. But yeah, I missed it. So today I was like, oh, state of origin was last night, really? But yeah.
You were probably lost in that brand new pool of yours.
Yeah, nice.
Is that last tree that you can see in the far end? Is it still on your property?
Yeah, that's it. This tall one. That one there.
Yeah.
About 200 meters behind that is still the property, and that's the Hastings River. So yeah, it's pretty nice. And it goes
I reckon you're gonna go through 2 ride-ons a year on that property.
Well, hopefully not, but we've got a big tractor.
Welcome, Gina Reinhardt, to the podcast.
Yeah, glad money's not important.
Stop it. Yeah, but look at it, you know, you go by.
As long as I've got my family, I'm happy. I'm glad money's
listing and selling all those properties for free.
Yeah. Oh, well, where it got me.
All those free jobs you did. Look at them.
Oh well, got me here.
Well done, Lou. Well done. We're waiting for the invite.
But yeah.
All right, let's get into wine, no?
Yeah, let's do it.
Do the wine. I'm
all right, Chris, your wine.
All right. I've got a Cab Sav. How unusual. It's called Red Knot. Must be good. It's got all these medals on it.
Came from Audi.
No, Dance. It's a Dance. 2015 Cab Sav from their cellar release. I bought 2 bottles, had a bottle the other week, and it's not a bad drop. Nice and full bodied. It's from McLaren Vale. Not much more to say. Bought it in the vineyard, so it's a decent wine. It's good enough.
I have a 2015 as well. I have I never get this right. Savannah Estate 2015 Shiraz. Savannah Estate's a Hunter Valley wine label, but the grapes in this one have come from McLaren Vale and Mudgee. These guys are just outside of Cessnock, just to the west of Cessnock when you first go in. And Savannah is Savannah Peterson, who's a 3rd generation of Hunter Valley winegrass. So she's named the label after herself. It was a The birthday party's over. Last night well and truly ended it, but this is another birthday gift. So
Nice.
going through them.
Everybody knows you like wine.
What about you,
Oh,
Lou?
So this one is a cellar release. It's Rosenthal Collector Chardonnay 2019. So it's actually a Western Australian fine wine. So it literally has not much information on the back, but hand-picked, barrel fermented, wild fermentation, 5 months. So I don't know. I mean, it looks impressive. The bottle looks impressive, so I'm sure it tastes just as impressive. So we'll see. But it's I don't know, Cam, you seem to be the Chardonnay king. So 2019 Western Australian.
it was a good year, but it'll be a bit young.
Okay, fair enough.
But still, so that you know, because Charlotte has looked at all the points, even though it's not a competition week, your wine actually won this week, Louise.
Ah,
When it does not matter, well done. You
What did you? Mine was a 4.2. Who did that rate?
I've no idea.
actually, yours came second, Cam. She actually beat you just by a point something, I think.
Wow. Well
done.
We should have done a
Well done.
bloody competition.
I got a Pepperjack 2013 Cab Sav,
Nice.
and I thought we all know Pepperjack. So I did something a bit different today. I thought, hey, do you know what? Why don't I just study a little bit the area? And it actually comes from the north. It's about 77 k's from Adelaide. It's north west or east. And actually, it's close to a town that is called Angaston. And Angaston was actually one of the last stop between Adelaide and the north of the state.
Oh.
And so it was, the town was started in 50, what is it? Early 50s? No, early 40s. But the winery, which is Saltram, started 16 years later. So you believe this? People just started town. They haven't had the time to even settle. Some guys would come around and start their own wineries. That's amazing.
Yeah.
I thought that was a good piece of history.
Foresight.
So I opened it a bit earlier because 2013, I just wanted to give it about 20 minutes at least, or 30 minutes of breathing. So cheers, guys.
Cheers.
Oh, I've just.
To your new house, Lou. Well done.
Thank you. Thank you very much. Now that interest rates have gone up 0.85%, I just have to work out how to
I've just looked. This wine 16.7%. That's why it smells like petrol. So it might not be here for long.
Actually, it's a funny thing that you talk about at the 0.8. I think I'm the closest to the that rise.
Yeah.
Cam, I think a few podcasts ago said that they will not move the interest rate, I think.
Rubbish.
And Chris, it was lower. It was lower. So
I said I wouldn't. I didn't think they were going to do it before the election, but they were always going to do it.
How high do you reckon you guys think they'll go?
I think.
Well, I said I think we have to re-listen to the podcast, but 0.75, I think I said.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm already wrong. It's 0.85 now, as it is.
I just wanted to get back to 18%, so everyone who goes, back in my day, we used to pay 18%. I got something to talk to them about. God, still hearing it. Unbelievable. Knock it off. You paid $50,000 for your house. Knock it off.
Well, but for the average $1 million property, with these two increase, that's 8,500 extra in repayment, just on interest only.
Thanks for that, mate.
So 8,500. I asked some of the recruits that I run today, and I said, how many people do you reckon can just take out $700 a month out of their pay, because now we have 0.85 increase. It's huge, So I don't see them doing much more, because they are going to create havoc. I mean, it's going to be great whatever happens with real estate, because people will have to sell. But I think for a lot of family, this is the start of arguing against each other, because now we're spending money, or we're not going on a holiday.
Yeah. Yeah.
This is not good.
And it's not only just the extra in repayments, it's the cost of living that everybody's talking about as well. I heard yesterday that in New Zealand at the moment, a watermelon is $100. Like, are you kidding? Watermelon, like KFC and Subway are now substituting lettuce with cabbage at like a mix 50-50 because the lettuce is $10 a lettuce at the moment.
Yeah.
So they're talking this afternoon, cheese and butter is going to go through the roof. And
Oh, that's it then. I quit. Cheese and butter go up. I'm out. Watermelons, they can have their watermelon, but
Next thing they're going to say grapes are affected.
if they touch cheese, I dead set driving myself to a cliff because that's all I eat.
Yeah, but for
Let's
me,
do a Thelma and Louise.
I'm feeling for these people like the elderly, for example, who are actually going to go to bed even earlier now because with winter, I mean, they don't have the money to pay for electricity or gas. I mean, I'm not saying it's getting theirs yet, but it's going to be harder.
It's getting close. Like I realised when they kept talking about the energy during the week, and I'd been putting off. I know we've only just moved house, but I've been putting off getting solar full stop for the last 6 or 7 years. I'm like, no, bugger it. But this week I've gone, shit, we better start looking into it. And I can pretty much cover the roof of this house for 15 grand. And won't have to pay a cent in electricity or anything like that. And I think one of the things, and it might be a topic for another day, but someone pointed out that they're blaming the war, they're blaming all sorts of stuff for energy prices going up. Someone pointed out that probably the real story is there's that many people converting to solar now that the electricity companies have still got to make a margin, and the war's a convenient excuse for them to start lifting the rates to claw some of that money back. So
How is a war going to affect our electricity bill?
because there's a lot of gas in the Ukraine.
Yeah.
Because we've put so many all the sanctions we've put on Putin, a lot of them had to do with the energy stuff, and
Fair enough.
that's what they're using as an excuse to do it. But
Yeah.
the banks don't miss a beat. I saw today they all obviously went the full 0.5%, but only 2 of them raised their savings account interest.
Yeah. That's ridiculous.
Yeah, they're Macquarie Bank and ING have raised their savings account interest. You can now get 1.5%, but they were all of them straight away bumping the mortgages up. You can go on about that for years, mate. It's never going to change, is it?
Yeah.
Well, let's introduce our subject, Chris. Thank you very much for coming up with that subject. It was a great subject.
Yeah, all good. It's 4 little words: do goals, kill dreams. And I think a little people might have been confused about the question, but it's quite simple. It is what it is.
That's your explanation.
No.
It's so simple that he can't explain it.
That's it. No, I'm not going to go into it just yet, but I think a lot of people look at the surface of that question and go, well, yes or no, but there is so much more to the answer than just a simple yes or no, and it's going to be a good podcast, I think.
Absolutely.
Good or not, it's going to be up to us. All right. So what do you think? What do you think about it then?
Myself?
Yeah.
No, I don't think goals kill dreams. I don't agree with the statement.
So you know?
Yeah, I think it goes a lot deeper than that. I think a lot of people probably don't set goals because they don't believe they can achieve them. But I don't believe it's that the goal itself that kills the dream. I think it's the lack of knowledge on how to get to the destination and what they put in front of them. So look, a goal is a dream that's been put into action, basically, right? So then what are the steps we focus on? I think that's where a lot of people come unstuck.
Yeah.
That's my take on it.
All right. What about you, Cam, Lou?
I'll go first.
You. I know you were going.
I'm not sure I got the brain power today to be jumping sides, so I need to make. So I'm a no. Goals don't kill dreams.
So you're in the no side? Yep. What about you, Lou?
I think goals can kill dreams.
Yeah, okay. Well, then I'm going to have to go on your side then for this week. So I just want to make sure we get you guys right. Let's Chris to the other side of the level.
You're in trouble, TL, if you got Lou on your side, mate. Let me
No, we're going to kill it. We're going to kill it.
You're not going to get a word in.
Okay, so how do we define, or what's the difference between a goal and a dream then? I mean, I've heard now, Chris. Right.
The dream is created by your mind. It's a vision, it's an energy, it's an imagination. It can be anything at any time. It's something you can do while you're asleep or while you're awake, and it's not a tangible thing. It's something created by the mind, whereas a goal is a destination that takes action to get to, something that you are trying to achieve but requires action. It's an action-based thing.
So it's not created by the mind.
The goal.
Yeah.
The end result is created by the mind, but the process to get to it is a tangible thing. It's a process that you actually have to take action to achieve. Don't kill me yet, bro.
His neurons aren't firing after last night.
Can we still there?
My argument is very simple.
You sounded like Lou then. I'm sorry, but you sounded like Louise.
My argument is extremely simple. A dream can't be killed. How do you kill a dream? It's impossible to kill. So whether it's a goal killing it or something else, that you can't kill them. When you go to sleep at night, you're going to dream. You can't kill it. See? Unkillable. I win.
He's struggling today.
I win. No, dreams can't be killed.
Yeah, okay.
I was on the side of yes, goals can kill dreams. I was, and then I had an epiphany when I was walking out to the car earlier. I'm like, hang on, dreams can't die. Unless you decide to turn them off in your own head, the dream lives on.
Okay, what about you, Lou? What do you think? What is the difference?
The difference. Okay, so I think the difference, a dream is something that we do to build castles in the air, so to speak. We have a desire to reach, but a goal is the vehicle that we sort of use to achieve that dream, if you like. So therefore, if you set the wrong goals to achieve that dream, then you will kill your dream. So I think that's the difference. Similar to what Cam said, goals is action-based, where a dream is something you desire or work towards, but a dream without action is a castle in the air, basically.
I had it written down. You're all picking on me, but I actually had it highlighted. Dreams are something you create in your mind that can take any shape or form, or goals are based on taking action. With goals, a lot of focus and attention is needed. Dreams, on the other hand, don't need that kind of focus. You can sit for hours in dreams without doing a single thing about it.
Here you go. See, because he's too drunk, he would just read it now so he can sleep the rest of the podcast, but it doesn't work that way, right? So
I don't know why he's sizing me up. What have I...
Listen, Lou, whenever we have to attack the other side, we always attack the weak point.
Absolutely.
The guy who's still recovering from the state of origin is the side we have to hit.
Absolutely.
So this is
easy mark, mate. It's like Lou stumbling across a good Chardonnay, mate. There's no
Oh, low blow. Yeah.
no honour and money over someone who's already dead to you, mate. You're not there's no honour.
But in state of origin, we also know the origin of his state.
I'm good. I'm here. I win. You can't kill a dream.
You don't win, buddy.
No, I personally think that dreams and goals are intertwined. And so there's a lot of people who are actually sitting right now thinking they have never achieved their dreams. There's plenty of people who actually don't understand the difference between dreams and goals. They put them together, but they may be interlinked, but they're not one. Otherwise, I always say this to people: if two words mean the same thing, one of them is redundant. So the two are very, very different. And for me, goals, they may make you happy in the moment. When you get a goal of a new house, you're happy for that moment. And it may last a week, may last a month. I mean, it all depends. It's for some people, it may last just that moment when they sign the agreement or the contract. Where dreams, I truly believe that they bring you fulfillment. And so it's really about the definition we have. I personally believe that goals lose their power. So quite often you get a goal, and quite often that power of excitement it gave you, it's gone over time. But dreams, it never goes away. in many respects, I believe that goals, they have deadlines, but dreams, they don't have deadlines. So when you say, I'm gonna have a goal to make sure that I'm financially free by the time I retire, that's a goal. But a dream, if you don't reach it, that's the deadline. But dreams don't have deadlines. Personally, I also believe that goals have got expectations attached to them. So when you set a goal, these are certain things that you expect. Like when the two of you set a goal to buy a house, well, these were some of the expectations that you wanted. If you didn't have that, if it didn't meet those expectations, then you can be disappointed. Dreams don't have expectation.
Don't they need goals to be achieved, Thomas?
Not necessarily. So that's the point that we're going to really discuss today. So now that I have that definition, now we can start. And here's my first point. Some goals, therefore, some goals are distractions. And this is why a lot of people don't get to their dreams, because they get distracted. They get that goal and they didn't think. And some goals just fall on your lap and you go, man, I didn't even believe I could get this. And then suddenly you start to veer away from your dreams. You had a set path of dreams, and one goal after another, it takes you away. I've seen people who started a business of wanting to help others. And as they start to achieve, as they start to make great sales, mate, helping others get disappeared. Now they got this house, they want a bigger house, they want want more house, and it's never enough for them. And I can tell you, as we discuss this topic here, that I have seen many people who want to embark on a dream and get lost very, very quickly.
The question wasn't, can goals distract you from your dreams? It was, do goals kill dreams? Of course,
if they distract, they kill.
No, the dream's still there. What are you talking about?
No.
What? So the dream of owning Disneyland disappears the minute you get distracted by a shiny new car? No, that dream's there. It's just further away.
No.
Your opening statement, Thomas, you said goals lose power as they move along. They lose the power. They don't kill the dreams.
Yeah, but I also think
I never said that they would, because of that, they will kill.
So your argument is meant to be based on goals killing.
You're on our side, so Lou, but you're by yourself, right? Thomas is on our side.
No. I think the problem with some goals is people set low goals and they set low expectations and they kid themselves, and because people set what they know is achievable to satisfy a level of, I did it.
Yeah.
But that's the wrong thing, because a lot of people, excuses at some point in our lives become habits, and that's the problem. Why a goal will kill a dream is because you'll always have that dream, but
it can't be dead.
You'll always have that dream, but you'll never get it.
You don't think it'll be fulfilled, but the dream's still there.
Yeah, but it's still.
No, but hold on. We're gonna start, because you guys are going into semantic. I can have 2,000 dreams and not achieve one. Yes. So does it mean that all my dreams are there? Not necessarily. I think that if your dream, you have to get to your dream. You have to fulfill your dream. So don't tell me that the non-fulfillment to me means that the dream's gone. That's how I see it.
Yeah.
For sure, people who have a dream of getting rid of disease in Africa, the dream's there. But if they do things that are totally swaying away from that dream, to me, that dream's gone. They don't have that dream anymore.
If you fulfill a dream, it's no longer a dream, it's reality.
Let's look at on your side of the fence for a while, guys. Let's look at this. Why would someone feel that their dreams aren't achievable? They maybe have tried before and they get resentment, maybe they become a bit cynical. That goal setting doesn't work.
I think people set poor goals or set a poor plan to achieve a goal. We set goals to try and achieve our dreams, but the execution of achieving those goals or failing to achieve the goals along the way makes people give up on the dream. But that, by definition, remains a dream. By definition, it remains a dream.
But the
dream is
minute
still
that you
alive.
get from the dream, that dream is dead. Come on, what are we
It's
doing?
still a
We play
dream.
on semantic.
You're
We
dreaming.
play
The
on
whole saying, you're dreaming, mate. You're dreaming. You'll
This is
never
where
get
I
there.
love. This is where I love the line. Goals do kill dreams or not. I mean, and it's not whether the dream's still there. You know, whether you don't want the car anymore, the car is still a car. I get it. If you don't want a car is still a car. But the question
Exactly.
is not that. The
I don't think
question
it's
is,
the actual
do
goal,
we-
and I don't. And to my point, it's not the goal that if that's your definition of killing, which is clearly wrong, right? But let's play your game for a second. Saying to pick a dream, throw a dream out there for me, help me out. Chris,
Quit smoking.
right? Is it a dream? Yep. Now you've got to set a goal. I need to stop for 30 days. I need to stop for 60 days. I need to stop for until eventually I'm no longer a smoker. When you fail to reach the first 30 days, all of a sudden that dream of quitting smoking gets further and further away and you might give up. The goal of stopping for 30 days didn't kill the dream. You failing to achieve the goal killed, in your words, even though it's still alive, the dream. It's the failure to execute on your goals will stop you
I
chasing
think we
your dream.
started wrong already. I think that stop smoking can't be a dream.
Hey, can I just say,
If
any of
you're,
you
if
guys,
you're reducing,
sorry,
if you're reducing
Oh,
Hang on.
it's an
the
example.
power, if you're reducing the word dream down to just
Now who's got semantics?
hang on a second.
That's not a dream. This is a dream. If something's
on.
alive, it can't be dead.
Any of you guys really heavy smokers?
Yeah.
Okay. When you're lying in bed and you can hear yourself breathing, and I don't mean like your lungs are crackly from smoking too much, you fall asleep dreaming that you could quit. So I can tell you now, it can be a bloody dream to quit smoking. And thank God I managed to quit, right?
Yes,
But
Chris.
going on that train of thought, every bloody New Year's Eve, people set goals to lose weight, to get a better job, to quit smoking, to not stop drinking. Hang on. And a lot of those are finished within a few months. The next New Year's Eve, let me finish. The next New Year's Eve, they're setting the same bloody dream, the goals. So the dream to do that action is there. I'll tell you what is missing. It is the intention, the daily intention to achieve that goal. So the actions, the habits they've got to put in place to achieve that goal, their dream, is what they need to change. It's not the dream that dies, and it's not the goal that dies. It's their intention stops them from achieving
Your
that.
ability to do it.
Okay, so the difference between a goal and a dream. So we can have a million dreams. Okay.
The goal is the action.
Yeah, but we can have a million dreams, but if it's a dream we really, really want to achieve, we set goals to achieve that dream. Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. Okay. So if we make excuses that form habits that get in the way of us achieving our dream, does therefore the goal not kill our dream?
It wasn't the goal that killed it. It was your failure to execute it.
No.
lack of
I
action.
don't like setting goals, right? I don't like setting goals. You know why? Because I very rarely achieve them. But by not setting goals and very rarely achieving the goals I do set, I'm doing okay, because I prefer to chase the dream and not have a clear path or barometers on how to get there. Right or wrong? Can disagree. There's probably parts of Thomas's head that just exploded, but I don't. And the reason I don't set goals, you know what not achieving goals for me has done? It's stopped me setting goals, right? Not chasing the dream. The dream has been there the whole time. I just don't set goals to do it anymore, and haven't for forever and a day. Everything you just said, Lou, is 100% right, except for it wasn't the goal that was the problem. It was your failure to achieve it.
I think that you guys are mixing dreams and goals together. That's the issue.
No.
No, you have the overall thing.
Stop smoking is not a dream.
Well, you're going back to
All right.
smoking.
I've got a dream of.
Hold on.
Pick anything, Thomas.
This is where, no, I think Cam is totally wrong by saying that, the killing is that the dream is not dead. No, it's not because I don't want the car anymore that it explodes. It's no longer there. Right? So I get that. The car's still there, but I don't want the car anymore. So that dream, that car is no longer what I want. So that dream is gone. It's killed for me. Now, for you, Chris, what is something, to me, a dream is something that is so big that 1,000 goals may not even fulfill. right? And I thought that at the beginning, you guys started with something that says, well, a goal is so intrinsically so high that, and to me, a goal is something that really responds to your values. A goal is something that you set. We know about goals. It has to be personal. It has to be specific. It has to have a deadline. It has to be something tangible. Dreams don't have to meet any of those four.
You set it with the intent, the hope that you're going to achieve your dream. Why would you set goals to chase a dream? Yes or no? Or do you just dream about that wonderful life you want to have and then do nothing about it? Is that what we do?
No.
Right.
No,
See,
you,
Goals,
you
no,
see the
I'm not-
definition?
I'm
You see
not.
the definition he has? He
You
has a definition. You have dreams and then, no, you have a dream. And then, yes, you set goals to run, to chase that dream.
Yes, that's what I'm saying.
yeah, but when your goals, when your
not
goals are
achieving
wrong,
those goals, right?
you
By
kill
not
your dream.
achieving the goals. No, yeah, but it's not the goals that is the problem. It's you not achieving them.
No, but it's not always. No, that's it's you
Or
can't.
you achieving them, Cam, or you achieving them. Sometimes we achieve certain things and then we sway away totally from what we originally were
Doesn't kill the dream.
chasing.
Distraction is not death. Distraction is not death.
But,
Get a
but what you're
pluck out,
saying in
mate,
that,
up.
Thomas, what you're saying in that if you have a dream and you convert that into a goal and you achieve that goal, you're saying that now we've killed that dream. No, we've achieved that
No.
dream.
That's not what he's saying. That's not what he's saying.
But then, no. Well, then once we achieve that dream, we sway off to something else and change our path.
No, he didn't say that. He said once you achieve the goal, you sway off the dream. So
He did
Of course,
say
your
that.
dream's got to change because you just achieved it.
No.
Why would you
Shush,
stop?
you hurt me.
Why would you stop smoking? Why would you have that goal of stopping smoking?
Because
For
the dream
health.
is to stay alive.
Right?
For health,
For health. So what do you mean by that in terms of health?
because you know it's going to kill you. You know it's going to get cancer. You know you could die from it.
Right? So, but talk to me about health, not lack of health. So what is it about health that is pushing you towards?
I'm going to live longer. I want to see my kids get married. I want to see my grandkids.
Those are dreams.
yeah,
Right,
The
but
quit
you've got-
smoking is a goal in order to achieve some of those stuff.
Okay, but I don't have the dream of quitting smoking anymore because I've achieved that. So then my next goal is to be healthy.
Now you're reducing dream to a state of mind when your brain is in a certain state level. That's the
No, you've achieved.
that's
If
not
you
what-
achieve a goal, you've got to move on to the next
I
one.
Don't fall for it, mate. What's happened?
I'm not restricting the word dream to something that you do
No, but
when
he's-
you
yeah,
close
so
your eyes.
He's trying to use semantics against us, but he's still focused on this smoking thing. What's clearly happened here is Thomas was lined up hoping to be that no, goals don't kill dreams, and we've made him switch because his arguments are weak and not making a lot of sense. That's what I'm
No,
trying.
I think that
I just want to ask a quick
I have
question.
no problem-
I
I have
agree.
no problem discussing this point,
CL, I
right?
agree.
But
I
I
agree
think
with
we're
you.
gonna have to really agree on certain things first. What's the difference between a dream? And this is why I started podcasts. What's the difference between a dream and a goal? And
Agreed.
then what we're gonna have to now determine what is the term kill, because for me, for sure, if you're looking at the strictest term, how do you kill a dream? But if you don't, but if the dream that you had is what you're after and you're no longer going after, I give you an example. My father lost his country, goes to Belgium in 1975. Dad's dream. I want to be able to bring as many Vietnamese to Belgium as possible because of the war. And I will just try to bring only families with children, but I'm going to bring as many people as possible. That's a dream. So to bring one family that has 6 kids, that was a goal. Yes. But at some stage, I've seen my father relinquish the dream. Because at one stage he realized he can't really do all of that because there was something missing. And the missing link was that he didn't have enough cash nor the relationship to make that happen.
Right,
And there
So
was
was the
so
dream
many-
dead?
So his dream was dead.
because he didn't meet his goals to do it, not the goal itself.
So
Goal was-
the dream was dead.
The goal,
Right.
Thomas, everything you said to Chris about
And you
smoking
can
and
see it when so dream do not die per se. Like I told you, because I don't want the car anymore, the car doesn't explode. But because I relinquish my pursuit of it, I believe that that's when that dream is dead. Now, I am really a believer that some of our goals actually do kill our dreams. For example, if I agree with what Louise said, if our goal's too small, we do. I believe that one of the reasons Dad's goal was dead was that many of his goals were too small.
Mm-hmm.
He should have gone to way bigger goals, because then his dream could have happened. He actually gone quite far, but he didn't believe in himself enough. So if you don't have enough self-esteem, you go for goals that are actually only at the level of your self-esteem. At that level, you don't, whatever goals you reach. So he did get like 6-7 families over here, but that was not meeting it. He didn't believe in it, and his dream died.
It wasn't the goal that killed it, though. It was the wrong goal. It was the wrong execution of the wrong goal, not the goal itself. I agree with everything you said to Chris about smoking and life being the real dream is 100% right. Quitting smoking is the goal to help you achieve the dream of a longer life. That can't possibly kill that dream, but failing to achieve that goal of quitting smoking might, because you don't do it. So the goal itself, quit smoking because it's going to help me live longer. How can that possibly kill your dream of living a longer life by setting that goal? Your dad's goals might have been too small, Thomas, but that's not the goal's fault. It's the person setting it, right?
No,
the lack of execution to do it.
I think in his dad's situation, in his dad's case, the goal, like Thomas said,
what a cop out. For sure, goals are set by someone.
That's not a cop out.
No, but like what you were saying about your dad.
We're saying goals are doing all the damage here. No,
but they are. His goal was to get as many people to Belgium as he could.
The goal of quitting smoking cannot have I don't think
that you can discuss with a guy who doesn't get it. Goals don't just fall off the sky. Someone has to set the goals. Someone has to take the ownership of the goals. He feels the goal just falls.
Yeah, so the goal of quitting smoking kills your dream of a longer life.
No. Listen.
Goals are black and white, right? Goals are either you do or you don't. True, yes or no. Either goals you achieve your goal or you don't achieve your goal. True or not?
Well, obviously.
You asked two very different questions. Goals you either do or goals you don't do. And then you ask goals you either achieve them or you don't achieve them. Which one are you asking?
Goals, you either achieve them or you don't achieve them. Yes or no? They're black and white.
Correct.
Okay. Dreams are intangible. And we have, like you said before, thousands of dreams. The difference between one and the other is putting it into action. So the steps to get from your dream to an action to achieving it is what the action you take place in between that. If you don't put the proper action in place, you don't achieve your goal.
Yes.
Your dream is still alive at the end of the day. And you may think at the end of the day, you may think 80 years, 90 years old, I didn't achieve that. Doesn't mean the dream's gone. Doesn't mean that dream has moved away. Just because you can't achieve it doesn't mean the dream's gone.
Right. We can disagree on whatever it is. So let's now, I'm going to start now moving towards real estate. A young kid has an opportunity of taking an ownership into a business. And things get a little bit difficult. He achieves some goal, he doesn't achieve other goals, and he starts traveling a little bit. With COVID, he's got a bit of time, he travels a little bit. And he goes to a certain place and he sees, oh, gee, they got such an easier life. And I'm struggling doing what I'm doing. So now he gets into a chat with someone who says, mate, why don't you just come over here? I've got work for you. If you come over here, work, you start straight away. So he goes, oh, I could actually do this. I can actually achieve this goal of now traveling with my new wife and go to places and do certain things. And what he doesn't realize, his dream of having his own independence, of setting his own business that was going to really give him two things, which is freedom of time and freedom of money, finance, is now gone. Why? Because he's now embracing that goal of going over there to take on the job, because he's escaping from some of his pain here. And that's what I believe, that some of the goals that you achieve do actually kill the dreams you had.
Exactly. And exactly on that point, sometimes it's the excuses that push our goals and our dreams further away that eventually will kill them, because it's easier to shoot for something you know you're going to hit than to shoot for something that you know you got to work for or dig deep of yourself. So I think going back to the goals, it's setting goals that are below average, or that you can achieve. They're not pushing you, they're not excelling you, they're not getting you to where you eventually want to go. And so in that instance, I think, and I don't know the circumstances, but I think the dream is gone because the grass is greener and the excuses come up. So the dream's killed.
Kid dreams of an independent, better life. Someone goes, here's a way I can give you an independent and better life. Whether that information's right or wrong, he's still chasing that dream.
But is he?
That dream isn't dead. Yeah, no,
to him
it is.
It is.
But if he was, why wouldn't he have stuck at what he was doing?
Because
everything you're talking about is the actual
features. Here's a question then for you, like the number of people who get into real estate. The first day you ask them, what's your dream? I just want to create an easy life for my family.
Who just wants to help?
I just want to provide. I just want to get to a level where I can be my own boss and really provide for my whole family. I don't want my wife to work. How many of them actually quit that?
Lots. How's that? What goal? How is that a goal problem? Sorry, I was just having an ambulance.
Yeah, no, I understand. So
how is that a goal? How does goal create that?
Either they have achieved many of their goals, and their first goal is, I need to get my first quarter and make money.
Or they're setting the wrong ones.
They could be setting the wrong one. Absolutely. Right. And the wrong one is there. The number of people who say, yeah, I want to work hard, and at 5:30 they home. So these are the wrong ones. But there's people who are setting goals and they're not getting it. So I still don't understand how a guy or a lady can set a goal in real estate. I'm going to make $100,000 this quarter, not get it, and then walk. So then I see people who get a goal, which is I along the way of building my own wealth, I want to have this. And it gets hard. Competition talks to them and say, mate, come over here. I can achieve some of your goals. I'll give you some money to buy a house. So he goes and he leaves only to regret afterwards, because now he didn't understand it. That was what we call the golden handcuffs. He's now around a rat bag, someone who's taking advantage of him. Yeah, he might have a deposit for a house, but he's lost everything else. And this is why I believe sometimes some goals do kill dreams.
So to your first example, how did setting a goal of achieving $100,000 for a quarter kill that person's dream? They didn't make the 100,000 and they left, but how was setting the goal of $100,000 quarter the problem? We're saying the goal kills the dream.
Yeah.
You're saying the goal kills the dream, not whether they achieve it or not, the goal. So he sets it, and his leader and whoever helped him set that goal of $100,000 a quarter, how has setting that goal killed his dream?
Now we're talking setting. We're talking just goal. Is the line very clear? The line.
No, the goal. Yeah. So how was the goal of $100,000 a quarter? No, you know what I'm saying, mate. Stop trying to twist the word.
Two goals.
He sets a goal. He sets a goal of $100,000.
So we now gone from achieving the goals to setting the goals. No.
Are we blaming the goal, or we blame the person who left?
No. Let me answer. I've just finished a recruit session where I told one of the boys, can you do me a favor? Do not set the goal of fighting your girlfriend. You don't have to compete with your girlfriend and prove it to her that you're good, because I could see they're on different paths. She's got that kind of flair, natural. He is going to go through like I've done, which is the hard work to get there. So they different path. You don't just take a four-wheel drive and put it against a Formula One. You take the Formula One as fast as it can be. You put it in four-wheel drive terrain, it's not going to go anywhere. And so sometimes setting even the wrong goals
Yeah.
Just destroy your dream. Absolutely. It happens all the time. And this is why I said to him, focus on your own race. Learn to know what you're made. Are you a Formula One? Are you a four-wheel drive? Even setting. But the question is very simple. Goals, do they kill dreams? Now we can talk about setting goals. Setting the wrong goals actually will kill. And I thought we were talking about goals as goal. Achieving goals. Absolutely. Achieving goals can kill dreams. This is why some of our people.
I know how you've twisted what I said. I'm not getting into achieving or not achieving. You said guy sets a goal.
You said
Guy sets a goal of 100,000. Guy sets a goal of your story. I'm just repeating your story to you. The guy has a goal of $100,000 quarter. He doesn't get it. He leaves real estate.
Mm-hmm.
Was it the goal of $100,000 quarter that killed his dream of real estate, or was it him leaving because he didn't get it? I know what the answer is. It had nothing to do with the goal of $100,000 quarter.
No, but how did it not have anything to do with the goal, Cam? Because the goal is what
I'll answer that for you.
No, the goal is what he set out to achieve. No. No. Let me finish. No. Let me finish. He set out to achieve a goal of 100,000. He didn't achieve it. His dreams killed. Why didn't he achieve it? Because instead of setting measurable targets that were tangible with a deadline, he probably set excuses. And so he's
keep going back to the same stuff, Lou. Right? We know people are full of excuses. That's not the goal's fault.
Well,
because
how is it?
Statement is if you leave real estate because you fail on a quarter, right?
So why is it the same guy changes real estate agents, changes agencies, and then achieves his goal?
But you
so
can't.
The guy sets the goal in one agency. Let's say he's working with an agency, not one agency, an agency. He sets that goal and he doesn't achieve it. Someone baits him to go to another agency. They support him. They show him how it's done. They show him how to achieve his goal. He achieves his $100,000 in the quarter. Now his goal his dream is achieved. So was it the action that he took from setting the goal to achieving the goal, having the dream, or was it the association he had at the other agency?
But we're not talking about association, Chris. We're talking about does goals.
We are, because you're telling me it's black and white that you either achieve or you don't achieve. He achieved it. It was just delayed, but he took another road to get there.
The goal wasn't a problem. There's nothing wrong with having a goal of 100,000 a quarter.
You created the podcast topic, Chris, and what was it in 4 words? You said it, 4 friggin' words.
Do goals kill dreams? No, they don't.
You can get as angry as you want, but all you've got to do is come up with an argument that makes sense. No. That's all. You don't have to get upset.
Well, I think that we've made sense like from the beginning, Lou. But right now, they have gone into giving a goal and a dream just a life on its own. Listen, both goals and dreams are done by someone, right? They're done by us. Okay, we set dreams. We set goals. Yes?
Yes.
Dreams and goals are not entities that just like stars. They don't just come up and then they
That's obvious. Yes, of course.
Thomas, you've given not one bit of evidence as to how the $100,000 goal killed his real estate career. None.
So if in English we say that's killed my dream, what does that mean? When I say something's killed my dream, what does that mean?
It means the dream's over.
No, don't answer. You're on my side.
You're going back to an argument we were having 20 minutes ago, mate. Answer the question. How did
I'm asking you to tell me, when I say what I've done has killed my dream, what does that mean?
You're soft. And you give up too easy.
In your head, that's killed your dream.
No, I'm asking you. So when I say I have done something that's killed my dream, what does that mean?
Means you're not going to.
My action has killed my dream.
I'm sorry, you speak at the same time. So
my action has killed my dream.
My action, what does it mean? What does it mean it's killed my dream? Because earlier, big dude next to you said dreams can't be killed. Now you just say that my actions kill my dream. So what?
That's your words. You hang on. I'm answering your question.
I just repeat. Listen, if we replay the podcast, he said.
All right.
So,
Thomas, if you
tell me another way,
I'm going to ask you, when I say what I've done there has killed my dream, what does that mean?
It means you believe. Go on, Cam.
It means he's given up on his dream. That's what it means, right? It means you've given up on your dream. You can't see it happening, so you've given up on it. But Then I say to you the next day, the next hour, the next minute, if you could do it, would you still want to? Oh, absolutely. It was always a dream. Your dream is still alive, for one. It's still there. It's not.
You've given up. So when we're talking about killing dreams, is that you've given up, you said.
But how did having a goal of $100,000 quarter kill the dream?
Absolutely, because this is why we have leadership and management in our system, is that a great leader will sit down and go, hey, let's start, every runner start with a small step. Okay, so start small. Why don't we just aim now to just make a few $1,000s in commission? And then afterwards, we can go for a next step. And afterwards, we can go for a next step. And I think that it takes a leader to really help you make your dreams real or goals.
So was it the goal that killed the dream or the leader? Come on, baby. Come on, baby.
I'll ask you this. A Formula One driver's driving a great car, but he doesn't win a Formula One. He doesn't win a world championship. He changes team. His dreams to win a championship. He changes team, and all of a sudden he's winning championships.
His goal is to win a championship.
His goal is to win a championship, and he's with one company. He's with one team, and he can't win. He can't win. He's trying his best. He can't win. He gets taken to another, let's say, Red Bull, and all of a sudden he starts winning championships, and he wins the world title. Was it the actions that he was taking during that time and the association that he was with?
Got him his goal. Yeah.
He got him his goal, right?
Yeah, I agree.
Okay.
So
it gets semantic. Many a kid lies in bed dreaming of being a world championship racing car driver. I've got one of those in my house. So you can't say that's the goal.
But he got his goal. What does it have? I don't understand what you just said.
No, because you changed nothing to goal, which ruined his argument. You changed dream to goal, which ruined his argument. You can dream. You did. You go, oh no, being the champion is the goal, not a dream. Right? So all of a sudden,
he dreamt of being a champion.
I can see.
How many people do you actually think achieve their dreams? Because I think a lot of people, if they set the right goals and they take specific action that is measurable, tangible, has a deadline, etc., I think a lot of people, if they take the right action, will achieve their goal.
Action, Chris. Action.
No, hear me out. A lot of people that will set those smart goals will achieve their goals, but a goal is different to a dream. It is, they are intertwined, but a dream is,
we're not.
No. You're not letting me finish, you morons. A goal is different to a dream. How many people achieve their dreams? Because I think there's a lot of people that probably achieve their goals, but how many people achieve their dreams?
That's not the question.
And I don't care what the question is. I'm asking how many people.
What are we doing on a podcast if you don't care what the question is?
Cam, if you let me finish, you'll see where I'm going. If you let me finish, you'll see where I'm going. If you let me finish, you'll see where I'm going. So,
I don't think you know where you're going.
I think at the beginning, I put my definition that really goals can make you happy for a little while. Dreams really bring you fulfillment.
That's right.
And I think there's enormous amount of people on this planet who actually go to their deathbed without fulfillment.
Exactly.
Therefore, to me,
no question.
There's a lot of people who have been chasing dreams. And I love the one who still pursued dreams until their last breath. But there's also an enormous amount of people who actually don't chase dreams, have given up on their dreams. And to me, giving up on your dreams, you kill your dreams. So this is my simple definition, right? So I think that what we are doing for the moment is probably not very productive because we're really trying for the yes or the no. I think that what we really ought to really start discussing, and a lot of people that I've been talking to, they want to know what's the correlation between dreams and goals rather than semantic of if I'm abandoning, is it not dead, but I'm going to say probably right now that this discussion will never finish. If we're going to keep on going like this until tomorrow, we're going to discuss on that. I personally believe that there's a lot of people who don't get their goals because they don't believe in themselves.
Yeah.
And the first key is to believe in yourself. You don't believe in yourself, the goals that you're going to chase are very small. And if you don't believe in yourself and you don't believe you're good enough, you're going to try and do whatever it takes just to be good enough. Therefore, you're only going to try and fulfill and achieve small goals. And small goals are very small steps towards your dreams. And I think this is what people need to really understand. There's a lot of real estate agents now that are listening to what we're saying right now. And I've said to them, you have to set goals every single quarter, but you're going to have a much bigger dream. For example, if you have a dream that is so big, it doesn't really matter how many times you fail, because you're going to be resilient enough to just get back up. You could actually fail most of your goals and still achieve your dream. You know, and I think that this is probably where we really need to bring it. Right now, we just spent 45 minutes. I'm very sorry that we're spending 45 minutes trying to just get semantics. It's not the point. So I go back again and really look at that. Why would dreams be killed by goals? Let's have a look at this. When are dreams being killed by goals? So we said already, self-esteem, low, small goals.
Yeah.
I think you answered the question there, Thomas, and there's no semantics about it. Self-belief will kill way more dreams than goals ever will.
Yeah.
Self-belief. But that self-belief will come from a few places away, you know.
But no, I don't believe it's just self-belief, Cam. I'm sorry, Chris, you were saying.
You said with poor self-belief,
I don't believe it's
wrong
just
goal.
Here's another thing. I truly believe that dreams are killed because we don't put efforts into goals towards the dream.
Yeah.
Right.
You know, so it's not just self-esteem. It's a lot of people want to be this, want to be that. They get into real estate, and I see it. I mean, I've trained thousands of people, as I know now. They are not willing to put the effort. And so I have to say, hold on. First of all, is your dream really a dream? And are your goals closer to a dream than closer to a dream? But the other different kind of dreams, the ones that you do when you close your eyes and go to sleep, right? Then goals themselves. So I think that lack of effort also will kill goals and consequently will kill dreams.
We've spoken before though, and I think Louise wanted to use it as a topic for last week, but some people aren't goal chasers, TL. You know this. Some people have to have it and then work to pay for it. And I put my hand up. I'm one of those people. Once I've got it, I'll work like hell to keep it. But you stick a carrot too far out in front of me that isn't a beer, then I probably won't chase it as hard. So it's in not understanding who you are and what drives you is going to kill the dream. Right? There's no good setting goals if you're not a goal chaser, but get the goal. If the goal's a house, buy the house and then work your ass off to pay for the house.
Do you know what I think is probably one of the biggest things that gets in the way of goals? I think fear of failure is a big reason people are afraid to start working on something that actually matters, because if you think you're going to do a lousy job, you're likely to feel less motivated to even get started. And I think if from previous experience and lived experience, if you perceive failure to always be something or helplessness or whatever, I think what you see is what you get, and so I think there's a lot that on that whole self-belief sphere, if you like, or umbrella term, is a lot of the reason why we don't get started. We procrastinate, and it's the self holding back, I think.
I think it also can be learned. I think the belief that you can't achieve goals is something that probably an environmental thing that you grow up in as well. You're not saying, I'm going to do this. Parents saying, I'm going to do this, going to do that, and not achieving it. Firstly, and secondly is, again, environmental with your association and those who you hang around. I mean, there's an old saying, it's hard to soar like an eagle when you're surrounded by turkeys. So I think you've got to be very mindful of your association. I think the last thing, I think the majority of people just don't know the basics of how to achieve a goal. That we talk about SMART goals. Spend some time and Google the bloody thing, people. Just work out. And it wasn't until this podcast that I found out quite a few things. I found a fantastic article from a magazine about goal setting and successful people and what their intention is and so forth, which was changed the way I look at it. I think people need to spend the time on themselves to allow themselves to achieve those goals, to learn it.
Exactly. And I think a lot of what we've learned over the years in our seminars and whatever else is we talk about setting SMART goals, something that's specific. And I think that's the problem. Like, we try and get our people to say, okay, it's okay to have a goal to buy a car, but what kind of car? What color? How much do you want to pay for it? When? By what date this year are you buying that car? It has to be measurable. It has to be also achievable. I think a lot of people set a lot of unrealistic goals that just aren't achievable. When someone says to you, my goal is to make my husband happy, like, are you serious? How do you make someone else happy? That's not a goal. That's out of your control. And I think that's a big thing that we've got to be looking at as well, or people need to look at. It needs to be relevant.
It's not personal.
Exactly. And it needs to have a time frame. If you don't know where you're going, it doesn't matter where you go, does it? So I think you need to have a target. You need to know what you're shooting for, because it's easy to say, I would like a new car, I want to lose 10 kilos, I want a new house. But if you don't know when and how much and by what date and by what exercises do I have to do that, etc., it's too easy to make excuses. And we know excuses push our dreams and our goals into the distance and unachievable.
I mean, listen, we don't have to go very far, all right? Even in starting Wiseberry, Vernick's dream and my dream was to create a network that was totally different, a network that would make a difference in people's life and bring to people and clients a totally different view, not only of real estate, but also to enjoy life to its fullest. And now I understand why I had to be the bone marrow donor when my brother had leukemia. But I have to say that there was a time when, yes, I have achieved certain goals, certain number of offices by when and all. But then I almost lost touch with my dream. At one stage, I start to focus on the numbers. And I start to have problems. And I start to attract people who are just in it for themselves, just in it to just try to get the quick buck and get their own thing going. And I have to say, a few times, if it wasn't for me sitting down and rethinking afterwards, I probably was going to walk away from that dream, because I almost got conquered by the fact that it is impossible to create that dream of having a family real estate agent, someone who cares about you like a family doctor. And so some of those goals I have achieved in real estate with the franchises, I have to say, almost killed my dream. Right? It's now, but when I say almost, I also have to be realistic. I'm getting older by the day. The energy that I had 20 years ago when I started taking these kind of things, it's not the same energy I have today. And so, and not only the energy, but when you're starting to go to more funerals than you go to wedding, there is also another message that maybe life is that short that you're going to have to start seeing maybe more important things. And so suddenly your goals starting to take a very different kind of color. And you sit there, you go, hold on, am I now chasing a white ghost or whatever you say? So that's when the dream's becoming a bigger dream. And I had to sit down here, and if there was one wish I'd had, was the wish of having more wisdom, knowing which goal to chase. Because some of those goals, I have to say, have affected my dreams.
Absolutely.
You're never going to get it right 100% of the time, though, mate. That's why hindsight is hindsight. You don't know at the time that the goal you're chasing is the wrong goal.
And I don't want to respark
I had more wisdom, yeah?
I don't want to respark the whole argument, but that just right there is proof in itself. Chasing the wrong dream chasing the wrong goal nearly killed the dream.
Yeah, but now you introduced the word nearly. Lou,
Come on.
You
shouldn't have gone back there, mate. You just
because you didn't kill the dream.
Yeah.
We love you, Lou.
I think because
a lot of wisdom comes from experience, I tell you, all right. So I just want to finish your point, because wisdom comes from experience. Yes.
Yeah.
Yes or no? Yeah. So you weren't to know, and people aren't to know, and then association, all that stuff comes into it. But your parents have all the wisdom in the world when you're a child because they've been there and done it. How often do you listen to them?
Not often.
And the greatest wisdom probably comes from doing it the wrong way. Do you reckon you would have had the same way if you got all your guesses right and followed the exact right path and didn't, snakes and ladders, you only hit ladders and didn't hit one snake? Would you be anywhere near as wise as you are today? I'm not saying you are wise, don't get your head bigger than it already is, but you couldn't have anything you have now with it. No, and when I say you, I mean all of us, anyone. You couldn't have what you have now if you hadn't done what you've done. Right?
Yeah.
So you wouldn't be able to tell that story unless you'd taken the wrong path. So, but not complaining, but whining about it and saying, "Oh, it nearly killed my dreams. Woe is me." You're much better for the journey. And you would admit that if we weren't arguing about it. So it didn't kill your dream, it enhanced your dreams and enhanced your ability to actually achieve it because you now know a few trapdoors not to fall down.
On that, on that train of thought, often we speak about the elderly and there's interviews.
I was just talking about Thomas.
He's good at the low blows, isn't he?
Oh, he's quick with them. I know he's not very keen on that Shiraz that he's drinking.
That's beautiful, mate. I'm just talking on alcohol level.
He's back there. He's back there. State of origin again.
He's just getting started.
So what I was getting at is like the elderly often say that, they look back on their lives and they haven't taken enough chances or enough risk. And that's one of the things they regret. But with risk comes experience. And you know what, whether you're setting a goal and don't achieve it or you do achieve it, you get experience, and that experience is what life's about. At the end of the day, don't leave this world with a what if.
Yeah, absolutely.
What if I didn't have 42 beers at the State of Origin? Whatever it may be, so
yeah.
No, but I'm talking, I just finished recruit training, so I'm spending a lot of time today with newcomers, and I have to say it's the same thing for young kids now coming into the workforce now or starting their own professional life. How are they thinking? And what about, I really say to them, first start with your dream and then be very careful about the goals that you chase, because really some goals will distract you and take you somewhere else, right? Like the goals of I need to earn this now, and then next year I have to earn more, and next year I have to get more. It's possible, but that earning a lot more may turn you into a bounty hunter, and you now chased away into this company, and that company, and this company, and then you totally disappear. I probably would never be here doing what I'm doing now if it wasn't for spending 1 year as a sales manager on zero extra income. When my leader said to me, all right, I'm going to take you as a apprentice manager. I'm not going to pay you anymore. You still have to go out there and be a salesperson. I didn't say, oh, that's not fair. In my goals, I have to, no, I just went, you know what? I'm going to turn myself into such a nice, beautiful piece of furniture that you can't do without me at some stage. So I took that time and studied and grew myself and did stuff. And I think that's one of the advice that I really like to give those young guys. Don't come in here and set a goal of I'm going to earn this by that time. If I don't earn this by that time, I either leave or look for a better place, or I'm going to have to get a pay rise without hard work. No. Yeah. Just focus on you having one single goal, be better.
Yeah.
Because if you're better, the rest will follow.
Absolutely. Absolutely. But also be measurable and achievable. I think some people go wrong by setting such unrealistic goals. You know, a new person comes in and says, I'm going to do what you guys do. Like Cam, I'm going to earn 500 grand in a quarter. Like, are you serious? You haven't even been in the industry. Like, you've got to set measurable, because that's what happens. People don't achieve their goal. That distracts them from, or that destroys their motivation or their self-belief or whatever. And so therefore their dream of being in the industry is gone, because they didn't.
Happens all the time.
Exactly.
It happened all the time. The
Exactly.
number of times you recruit a brand new person, she goes, I'm giving myself a year to get that. If I don't, I'm out. Happens all the time. You know, we see it, it happens. And so some goals really destroy that dream. So now you have to pursue something else.
Exactly. So the goal itself needs to be relevant to your level of experience and also and measurable. Like it doesn't have to be, and I think a goal is something that needs checkpoints along the way as well. Like you can't just say in 9 months, I'm going to achieve this goal. And for 9 months, hope that everything you're doing is going to achieve that goal. You need to have checkpoints along the way. And have I done this by this time? Yes, I'm still on the way. I've achieved that by that? Yep, I'm still on the way. So you're working towards that goal, because if you don't have those checkpoints, it's too easy to get distracted and create excuses. And as I keep saying, like a broken record, excuses will push you further away, or your goals and dreams further away. I think that's a big thing that people need to understand as well. Like if you set out to lose 50 kilos and not focus on achieving your goal until you've lost the 50th kilo, that's a long slog. That could take someone 2 years. But if you said every two kilos, I'm going to celebrate, you are going to most likely achieve that goal because you've celebrated along the way.
But here's my question, guys. What if then people listening to this go, well, then stuff dreams? Just go for goals, because goals seems to be concrete stuff you achieve. Goals seems to be like that new house that you'll get, more house that you'll get, and more money in the bank account. Forget the dream.
Your goals are your action. Your goals are your dreams put into reality. That's all it is. It's you're focusing on the tangible from the intangible. That's all it is.
Goals are your GPS to get your dream. Yes.
Right.
Right. Still, if you put the wrong petrol in the car, it wouldn't matter what the goal is, you're not going to get there.
Right. I
Right.
like that.
I also think for me personally, I think when we talk about dreams, yes, we can have many dreams, but from my own experience, I think I have one dream that covers overall that I set my goals around to achieve, if that makes sense. So, you know, you can dream to be many things, but I think if you have one specific, or not specific, one blanket dream, I suppose, that's, and again, I'm just speaking from my own experience, you know, I think people possibly would look at it like that as well. You can have a million dreams, but I think you don't chase a million dreams. It's not possible to chase a million dreams. You have one dream that probably drives you, and you set goals around that to achieve it.
Who says you have to have a dream?
No one. Who says you have to set goals? Like you said, Cam, you chase the dream. You don't worry about the goals. You go from A to Z, and you work out how you're going to sort everything else backwards from there. And that's nothing.
No dream at all.
I'm a little bit the same. I have to be honest. I'm a little bit the same. I sort of, I jump and then work out, sort it out after that. But some people are different. Some people need to tick off along the way, achieving certain things, or they won't.
Like the GPS for the car to get where we're going. Yeah, I'll get it.
Yeah. Yeah.
Lou, dreams are like GPS destination, and goals like headlights in the dark. Okay.
Yeah.
Show you 50 meters at a time.
Yeah.
Em is the only guy that goes around life without either of it.
Yeah.
No, I have a dream, but I'm just saying it. We're putting a lot of pressure.
The daytime, so
We're putting a lot of pressure on people. We're putting a lot of pressure on people here to have a dream. Some people don't know who they are or what they want to be, and you can't know what you want to be if you don't know who you are to begin with. You don't have to have a dream.
But if you don't know who you are and what you want to be, how can you set goals?
You don't have to set goals, right? And you don't have to have a dream. But if there is somewhere you want to be in life, apparently it can help set goals to get there if you listen to these two, and then heaven forbid you choose the wrong one, because then your dream's just going to be ended like that, gone. Unfortunately, that isn't real. That isn't the way life actually works. And
you're actually starting to make sense.
If you stuff up, you know, I'm so proud of myself, because normally there's an F-bomb coming there. If you stuff up, it doesn't have to be the end of your dream. And anyone who tells you it does needs to come and have a conversation.
Yes, okay, so it is okay to live without dream. I mean, there's a lot of people who live on survival. Therefore, you know, I will go even survival a dream. It's
yeah.
You know, but if you don't mix the two words together, well, then if they don't live without a dream, it's fine. So this is why I asked that question: is it possible to live without a dream? And obviously, we have some answers already. It is not possible to live without a goal, right?
Mm.
And goals are the small little things that bring us a little bit of happiness.
Disagree. 100%, mate. You see the majority. Listen, you see the majority, and this isn't trying.
Ken, I was not going to put you down, but I'm now going to have to, right? Okay. You and I, we have discussed for many, many months about you looking to buy a new house. So don't tell me you had never had a goal.
No, I'm not saying I haven't. But you know what, mate? My dream.
But earlier you said you live without goals.
No, but it's
no,
but you're
don't say that. Every one of us has got a goal.
No, they don't, because you can listen to me. You're telling me it was a goal. I might tell you it was a dream to buy a big house and have a pool and do all that stuff. How come that wasn't my dream and it's only a goal? I'm telling you, there's people that go to work and you mentioned the word survival before, every day 9 to 5 packing shelves there with no goal except putting food on the table for the night. It is 100% possible to live, and now you get into the definition of what's living, without goals, aspirations, dreams, chuck whatever word you want.
Everyone sets a goal, and I think that you're making goals like.
I think you're full of it.
No, I think it's the other way around, man. Everyone has a dream,
and everyone sets goals.
Martin Luther King, I have a dream.
Even the person who
not enough people
years ago set up the goal of hunting for an animal and coming home with an animal, right? So goals are those little stuff that we just.
I know what killed Martin Luther's dream, Chriso.
Oh my God.
I think. Listen, if we, I can see it. You know, we are not going. We're going around because Cam.
I don't know how we've got back to.
Cam has decided. No, Cam has decided he was just going to get one single angle, and that's. I think it's very wrong. No, Cam, I think it's very wrong.
You turned it cynical.
You just go onto one angle, right?
I haven't come from one angle, mate.
We have to be. There's a song that's
got to be measurable.
Everyone knows about Susan Boyle singing that song. Right? I had a dream. And in there, she said, what is it? I think that life has killed the dream I dreamed.
Yeah.
And I listened to that song many, many times over. And that line, I really love. It's how you get to a level where you are now blaming life, killing your own dreams.
So she didn't blame God.
So I will say this. If you don't have the honesty to even sit down and go, all right, what's the definition of goal? And I understand, you're still pissed from yesterday, but I think that if you're going to get onto a Wine and Wisdom podcast, try not to be that pissed so that you're really insulting the podcast that we're doing. But you're gonna have to really sit down and go, what's the difference between dreams and goals?
Oh, we've already spoken about it.
No,
we've already agreed with all that.
No, and then once you have that, you can have the argument. We have said already, goals are small things, and now you go. No one's got. There's some people.
No, I didn't say no one. You said everyone.
You said
everyone has a goal.
Very dishonest of you.
You said everyone has a goal. Replay the tape.
Even the guy, even the mother who apparently has no goal. When she wakes up in the morning, has got to go to
she knows
the lunch. Go
and shop. That's called a to-do list. That's called a to-do list.
That is still a goal. That's
there's a big difference between everyone having a goal and people knowing that they have a goal. People wake up when the alarm goes off and roll out of bed and get in their car and drive down the freeway and do everything they do, and most of them wouldn't have a clue why they're doing it.
That's rubbish. That is such rubbish, Cameron. You can't say that.
From your 200 acres, you can say that. What about the poor person on $14 an hour who actually doesn't know why they're doing it?
What do you mean they don't know why they're doing it? If they didn't know why they were doing it, why would they
everyone had a goal or a purpose. Why is there so many mental health issues? Why is there so much poverty? Why is there all this stuff? Because they don't have goals. No.
That's wrong. That is wrong. Mental health is
no. Hey, okay, you can say it, but I think now
just come up with a compass argument. One of you come up with something that goes against what we've said,
Oh,
And
Cam,
I'll bow
you
down.
can't
No,
say
what Cam is
why
saying
is
is
there mental
right,
health
because
and why is
people on
there
the
poverty?
treadmill,
There's
they're on the treadmill of necessity, and they're actually doing their daily tasks to achieve their level of survival. That's not a goal.
bullshit. It's not a
This-
goal.
this is
Bullshit.
living.
It is not a goal. Do you know what? A goal can be putting
You're right,
one
Chris.
foot
They sit
in
down,
front
mate,
of
and they write
another
out, I'm
every
going to
day.
work 40 hours. I'm going to work 70 hours a week underpaid for the goal of just scraping by. And they put it up on the fridge and they make sure every day that that's exactly what they do.
You guys are
that's their
saying so
dream.
ridiculous right now.
We're not.
Everybody has a goal. A goal doesn't have to be something that's publicized and written on a goal checklist. But if you get out of bed every day and your goal is to get to work and
Let's ring 100 people right now and go, what's
No.
your goal? And see how many
All
hits
right,
you
I'm
get.
going to stop this. All right, stop.
Oh,
This
my
is
Everyone
going in
has a
circles, right?
God.
So we're listening. We've got some good people listening to us, right? We've got 5 minutes before we pull up stumps, right? I want to know people wanting to set some real goals, some achievable goals for themselves. They want to set. Do they share them with other people? Do
Of
they write
course.
them down?
Yes.
No. I want to sort of work. I want to workshop that. What do they do? They've got some dreams that want to become goals. What do they do? It might be buying a car, going on a holiday, getting married, losing weight, whatever it may be. What do they do? Guys, share that.
I'm still trying to get over
We've got
this.
crickets now. Crickets.
Okay, so specific, measurable, achievable, relevant, and have a time frame.
Okay, but Lou, put those into like layman terms. We
Okay,
all
so
know what
be
you're
specific.
talking
If you
about.
say you want to set a goal to buy a car,
But real quick. No, what I'm
Find
talking
a car.
about is really quickly what they do. Write it down. Go.
okay, so they write it down. They be specific. They share it with the ones they love, who they know is going to encourage them to help them get to their goals. They make them
Process.
measurable, tangible. They have a deadline. You know, they get up every day and they work towards them. If you have to set a dream board or a goal board in front of your face as well, then do that.
But do visual. Visual, you're talking visual.
If visual is like some people learn and are motivated by visual as opposed to, you know, whatever. But yeah, I think it's pretty. People, and here's the thing, going back to this argument that Cam said people don't have
Don't
goals.
go back to the
People don't
argument.
have
Yeah,
goals.
help people.
Don't go back there.
Do you know what? Some people, they might not think they're goals, but when you get out of bed every day and you go to a job and you work 9 to 5 for $14 an hour or whatever it is that he said, they're still mentally setting goals every day to go to work and achieve what they wanted to achieve. So at the end of the week, they get paid what they get paid to pay their bills and do this and do that. It's still mini goals. Everything is still
They don't know that.
something that they're setting to achieve or something
All right,
that they're
okay.
to achieve.
Lou, I hate to cut you off, but Ken,
Oh,
What's that, mate?
what they just asked me.
I just think, look, it's got to be measurable and achievable. That's all I know. You just got to be able to measure it and achieve
so
it.
what
So
do-
someone comes
what-
here, goes,
Just
Cam, I
walking
wanna
off of
set-
his friends.
how does somebody who doesn't have a goal measure?
The Cam, I come to you and say, I want to buy 200 acres next to a vineyard because I can't buy any good wine in where I live. What do you tell them?
Go and sell real estate for free because you like helping people.
Look where it gets you. Cheers.
Look, it's a harder thing because I go back to my point. I know we were doing it under angst, but I reckon if you rang 100 people right now and said, what's your goal in life? 99 of them wouldn't be able to tell you.
Robbie.
Oh, Lou, pipe down. You're just doing it for the sake of doing it now. You ring 100 people right now, but when was the last time you rang 100 people, Lou? So I don't know. But first off, if you think you know where you want to go, the whole idea is to try and set a plan to get there. So, and start with the first things first. What's the first thing I have to do to put the wheels in motion to get where I'm going? And probably it's going to be ring someone who's done it before, because you don't know what you don't know. So what Thomas was talking about before, you know, I wish I'd known then what I knew now. He only knows what he knows now because what he didn't know then. Right. So my thing was, when I first wanted to know how to run a patch properly, and it's a small goal, I rang Darren Butcher and said, teach me how to run a patch. When I wanted to know what to do with my first house, I rang someone who owned 39 houses because you don't know what you don't know. So I guess step one is work out if there is something you actually want in life, and step two is call someone who's done it.
Yeah, amazing, Cam, because you're probably echoing what I'm going to echo exactly what you said, mate. So find someone who's done what you want to do and go and ask them how they did it. Number one. Number two is nothing breeds experience like failure. So just go and do it. Probably the third thing is get out of your comfort zone. I think the comfort zone kills more goals than anything that has killed goals before. Just people expect to achieve their goals by just doing the same shit they've been doing for 20 years. You've got to change what you're doing to achieve goals. Yoda, Thomas, you get the last say.
Oh, thank you. I think that the two of you are wrong. You're talking about goals. You're not talking about goals and dreams. I think that every one of us, if every one of us have got dreams, what you need to be doing, and this is from my own experience, is to have the ability and the courage to transcend your ego and look for some of the goals that you're going for and see whether they are really in line with your dream. If they're not, you need to have the courage to walk away. And I get that. There's goals that are maybe good financially that we need to walk away in order to fulfill a dream. And this is why sometimes even in business things now, sometimes I know, yep, that this thing is making my money, but I'm going to break it because staying around in that environment is killing my soul and is destroying the kind of person I am. So I have to have that courage of walking away from that because it is going to just kill my dream. And so I truly believe that what's important in your question is to have the courage to have a mastermind group. That doesn't mean you listen to what your mastermind group is doing, but you're using the wisdom of these kind of people so that you can come up with as many potential answers as you can. And then it's up to you now to really sit down and find that sage in you, that wise person in you. Because in us, we always have those saboteurs, you know, the guy that say, you're not good enough. Oh man, last time you did this, you stuffed up, and have a look, this guy did this to you. You have to quieten them down so that your wise can really speak out and then see whether it is aligned with your dream. If not, don't do it.
Yeah.
I like that.
Yeah.
All right. So, mate, since you're the one who came up with that, you might as well just close the subject, bro.
Wow, how do I close? It was a good subject. I ask your audience, and you know what? A lot of you probably don't know who are listening that every week we try and find a new subject. We'd love some input from the outside world. Guys, jump on, send us some messages. Let us know what you're thinking, what you'd like to talk about. We'd like to hear from you. But final word is, whether it's a dream or a goal, just keep moving forward and keep pushing, because at the end of the day, it's all worth it, right?
Goals don't kill people, people kill people. That's all.
Thank you, guys.
Go the Blues.
Bye. Bye-bye.
You guys.